Pistons Live is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. You just never know. You come out to the gym and you witness history tonight. Pistons win it by 53. Danis Jenkins was special tonight. 18 points off the bench. He's standing by with Natalie Kerwin.
Danis, 53-point win here tonight. It's the largest margin of victory in franchise history. When you hear that, what goes through your head?
I mean, this whole season is historic. We're trying to do something special. We know we're a special group. It's never about who we playing. It's about how great can we be. And we always talk about our goals and where we're trying to go. So that's all we try to do each and every time we step out on this court.
With each guy getting their moment tonight and their opportunity to get some playing time, how valuable is that for this group going forward?
Yeah, I think when you jump on teams, a game like this, it just can kind of get everybody going, get the rhythm, let everybody kind of touch the ball, get reps at different things live, and just, you know, play a game free, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just good because we're going to need everybody down the stretch. When we go through the playoffs and things like that, we're going to need everybody to get the job done.
It looks like your confidence has just continued to grow and grow the more that you have played with this group. How much do you just love being a part of this team, Danis?
I mean, every time they put me out there, you know, I get more and more comfortable. So just to know that the whole team rock with me, like I always say, the organization rock with me. And JB put me out there, man, and I just got to go and be me, you know. I'm out there for a reason. I'm on this team for a reason. So I just got to go out and be myself. That's all I'm trying to do.
When Jalen Duren was announced as a first-time All-Star, what was that moment like for you, looking over at him and seeing his reaction?
Yeah, you know, we all said, they announced that mid-game like that, we got to go to work. Like, we got to go out and go to work. That was our thoughts. But, nah, we knew it. I'm glad the world saw it, and I'm glad he got the recognition that he deserves, and I'm glad he made it because we know the work he's been putting in. And without him, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. So it's well-deserved, and we are happy for him. We knew we was going to get it. We were just waiting to hear the results. So we're happy for him, excited. I mean, that's a blessing, and we're going to root for him.
And that cheesy smile we got from him there at the end, too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Danis.
All right.
All right. DJ with a great game along with these Pistons. 53-point lead. Unbelievable. Largest margin of victory, Johnny and Grant, ever in the franchise.
Well, you know what's funny?
Tell me.
Remember before the game we were talking about, you know, the stages of learning how to win. And then we said, you know, and now when you get a big lead, you got to figure out a way to bury the other team and just put it away, bring in the reserves, and move on to the next one.
You supplied the shovels tonight.
Yeah, Mark, crying out loud. Hey, really, I mean, just when you watch this game as a whole, it was like, I'm not saying you felt bad for the opposition. Look, and Brooklyn's going through it a little bit, and obviously Michael Porter Jr. didn't play, and Noah Clowney didn't play. But the Pistons, their brand tonight,
yeah,
it was so overpowering, it was overwhelming, and then once they got up by 20, then it was 30, then it was 40, then it was 50 and change. This was a complete dominant performance, and really coming off that West Coast trip, coming back to East Coast time, as impressive of a win as we've seen.
And that's what I was going to say, Johnny, because of where they came from off the West Coast, the first game back, that's usually, I've heard people say it's a trap game for you, and it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You have sea legs, so to speak. You're tired, you're drained. All of those things come into effect. But if you're a good team, if you're one of those teams that are ascending to be a great team, you win these types of games. So that tells me right there that the Pistons are on par, that they're doing the right things. They've established a culture that says we don't play with any excuses. We just go out there and we get it done. And what was impressive to me was that, as you mentioned, the way that the Pistons play, the brand of basketball that they play to their identity.
Yeah.
And that's what helped them win this basketball game. You don't try to deviate from that. You be consistent in who you are. You heard Danis Jenkins say the same thing. Go out there and be who you are. They've established that identity, and that's what they did.
Let's talk a little bit more defense here in our Buick GMC Pro Vision, because 29 turnovers, was it 25 forced turnovers tonight for 39 points off. That's almost unfair. But that level of defense that they were able to put on it tonight, it wasn't just that. It was a block party, and everybody was wearing white.
Well, listen, it was an active hands type of night, and the Pistons knew that. Stu right there, 43% that he yields to the opponents at the front of the rim. He's the best in the league this year and last year, so you know what he's going to do. But again, play to your identity. Play to the expectations that you set for yourself. And that's what we saw the Pistons do. It doesn't matter who they were going to play tonight. They just came off of a road win against the Golden State Warriors where they played essentially the same way. Their defense led the way. Active hands, coming away with steals. Point in the paint dominance. 60-plus points once again, back-to-back games for the Pistons. That tells you, again, they were paying attention to the details. In this game tonight, they had a slight advantage in that area, and they took advantage of that, getting the ball to the paint time and time again, either by post-up, pick and roll, or by way of transition baskets. They scored in the paint, and again, that's paying attention to the details.
And the big part about this is that you have an opportunity. Pistons are playing 4 games in 6 nights, right? So they'll have the Denver Nuggets coming in with the Joker, defending MVP coming in. So obviously that's a game you got to be ready for. The fact that they were able to get some guys off their feet, some of these numbers could have been inflated, right? From a numbers, statistical standpoint. But Cade, because he had a double-double at halftime, he ends up with 18 points, 12 assists. Again, only had to play 26 minutes tonight, which was big. But his assists tonight, we'll make him our Xfinity highlights because we talk about him being a willing passer, a willing facilitator, and on a night like tonight, they had so much balance in the first half that continued on into the second half because Cade was looking out for his guys.
And listen, to begin this ball game, I applauded the Brooklyn Nets because their movement on their offensive end gave the Pistons a little bit of trouble. The Pistons sputtered out of the gate a little bit, but then when the Pistons started to activate and started to move on the second side of the floor and get cuts off the post-up from Cade and Duren, all of a sudden the offense started to open up, the ball started to swing, and it found its way to the open shooters. Duncan Robinson gets that one to go down. You see the almost near uncontested shot by Green. Advance the ball, get your teammates open looks. Cade had a pulse on this game tonight from the very outset of it that said, listen, I'm going to get my guys involved, I'm going to score myself, and I'm going to make a short night of it. He had the near double-double at halftime. Yeah. That's his 25th double-double of the season. He's 4th in the NBA in that category, Johnny. So this is something that he's been consistent in doing all season long. It's nothing new for Cade.
Jalen Duren. You heard, obviously, during the game, it was cool because they made the announcement shortly after 6 o'clock, so shortly after they tipped off. Jalen Duren going to be a first-time All-Star for the Pistons. And if you look at his production again tonight, another double-double for him. Look at what he did on the road trip. He's playing at a level where, a lot of times we like to carve out little stretches where you say, over the last 3 games, he's done this, right? Over the last 5 games. Well, sure. For this season, when you look at his numbers, he's like a walking double-double. Well-deserved, obviously, his opportunity to represent the Pistons in the All-Star game. But tonight, for him, as you heard Danis Jenkins say, you get all that, you pat yourself on the back for about 5 seconds, and then you got to go to work. And we're going to make him our Cure Auto player of the game because he went to work tonight.
Listen, Johnny, I told you a week ago when
our game format this year because it's like the U.S. versus the world round-robin format, so you have a couple different U.S. teams. Either JB's going to coach both guys or one of his guys, or coach it against both of his guys or one of his guys. So it'll be interesting to see when all that shakes out. Again, All-Star game coming up here in 2 weeks. Let's hear from head coach JB Bickerstaff.
JB, a 53-point win is the largest.
That's why we're here, and that's why we do the job that we do, is to try your best to help people, reach their goals. And being able to work with him is a pleasure every single day. His attitude is the same every single day. His approach is the same. His work ethic is the same. His thirst for knowledge and the willingness to want to get better and do the things that we ask him to do to help this team win has just been unbelievable. And, in the year and a half that we've been together, I've been impressed with him. So much, just every single day, more as a person. I watched him grow as a leader, like now how he's using his voice. So it's awesome. It's a great thing to just be able to sit next to somebody and watch those things happen for him.
Hey, Coach, how much of this game is an illustration to the maturity that we have seen this team be on over the past year? You go into halftime with a 23-point lead, but in the third quarter, they just kept their foot on the gas.
Yeah, I mean, it's growth for us. There were games earlier, even this season, where we got a big lead and then, we let out, our foot off the gas a little bit and fumbled the lead and had to figure out a way to win it in the fourth quarter. So, we talk about it all the time. We never expect to start the season as good as we expect to finish it. And for us, it's always about taking those steps of continuing to improve. And you find different ways in different areas where you need to improve, and I think our guys have continued to do that.
It's obviously not a one-man show, but seeing how Cade can dictate a game both offensively and defensively, I mean, how unique is it to have a player like that and what he can do?
I mean, I think that's why he needs to be considered, in the best players in our league. Because, again, you may have guys that can impact it on one end of the floor and not at the same level on the other end of the floor. And he does, you know what I mean? Like, he's doing the things that an MVP caliber player should do. And it also, you see its impact in the way we play and the way we win games. And, I don't know of someone who's had more impact on both ends of the floor, impacted winning the way that he has. So to me, like at this point in time, if the season were over, it'd be clear to me that he